Oh, hello, Taurus. How the heck are you? How's the grind, Taurus? How is the day to day? I want to thank you for joining me here as I ask that question here today, here at this moment, space and time. I want to wish you all the best in abundance, bliss, joy, love, and fulfillment. As always with this channel, thanks for joining. These are your April readings, Taurus. This reading is for you and the other. The other could be your person, it could be your relationship, it could be just your relationship to something that you have your focus on, all right? We try to keep it etheric at this little YouTube channel, which is always easier, I feel, to pull messages from beyond tarot rather than just reading what the cards are and what they mean, right? Which you run into a little bit here and there. So we want to just keep those energies, and that could be a message for us, Taurus. You could be in a feeling where you just want to keep it light. You want to keep it simple. You don't want things to get complex, even though we are in a bit of a complex time. Or you could be at a time where you have been called to action, and you possibly could be overthinking about your steps towards getting there, or to bridging that gap between you and the other, or just making it all come together, sort of like how the pieces of a puzzle fit together. All right, tarot's ready to go, Taurus. We're going to keep the readings a little bit shorter than our typical, but hey, that's okay. Jam-packed full of information, right? Overall energy for you, Taurus, Four of Wands, okay? So it does. It's got that good, active, feel-good feel to it, right? This is almost like participation type energy, the sense that I got. Like somebody out there doing like the 100-meter dash, or getting out into like jogging and getting the cardio going, and falling in love with their self and their body all over again, and bringing a new level of contentment or acceptance or satisfaction to work, which is allowing for better relationships there. This is an improvement to relationships, the Four of Wands. This is harmony and working together to combine to like kind of like mutualism or equal give and take into a relationship, for those of you that are watching on that nature. And I do see success or progress in this card. This is meant to be as a stepping stone. They're in a little shanty, but the big castle's way over there. So they're taking their time out away from structure. They've celebrated. It could be a very romantic time for many of you. And this month you could see like celebrations, weddings, wedding anniversaries, things like that. My phone's dinging. My goodness, Taurus, I am so sorry for the edit, and I was on such a flow there. I am actually at debate on whether to go back and rediscuss this, but I don't think I'm going to, because the channel had come through and connected so clearly, and we've just finished. I was literally 2 minutes on the phone, something pretty important too. So, but let's get back into you, Taurus. Just give me a minute and take a deep breath, and let's see what we have up for you. Look at that. One more. The Three of Wands. So some of you could be wondering about the situation as it has taken on, or a relationship as it has taken on a life of its own. When two people are committing and equally giving into this situation, you may be like, has it always been that way? What about the moments leading up to it? What about, memories that have you feeling more sure about where you're focusing your attention towards that project or that person, versus do you feel you may be at a dead end with it, or do you feel so it's kind of counterintuitive to see this card come up, but I think it will be serving you well, because you will be measuring it against your how much you value your time, which, Taurus, we all know that you do value it, and you are successful as a result of it. And as you measure up, equal give and take, partnerships, collaborations, and things of that nature, you will have a more direct or effective answer, or effective solve to the problem, so to speak, with this Three of Wands. Work is going to be busy, but it could be like quite a harmonious time for you. It seems like you might not even have too much trouble getting into sort of the rhythm of your work, or the rhythm of what you're doing, where the it's getting done. Time is passing by not too arduously. And at the end and at the beginning, you are very happy to engage with it. And if there's a person, I mean, it does have a good feeling that despite things that might come up, I think you will be the one, Taurus, that will be setting down the rationale or the reasoning to let's make this decision based on how much we feel it is worth, right? And again, with the relationship, two people bring to it, and then the relationship takes on an existence or a consciousness of its own, right? This is a three. This is manifesting. This is creating anew. This is envisioning and attracting that ship to come to the harbor, or that which you need to have come to you, right? Because you may be feeling like you've already stepped far enough towards it, and now it's time to release and allow it to come to you. So ebb and flow in relationships, Taurus, nothing moving too fast, so that's okay. But the busyness surrounding more of the work and the happenings and the problem solving, you are wanting that simplicity. You're wanting to reduce things down to like the lowest common denominator, the fundamental value of what it is and what is purpose behind it. You will be asking about purpose in those things and those people that cross your path this month. I feel, all right, very inquisitive nature, almost like whatever is at opposition to you right now is going to lead to inquisition. All right, and that's all right energy to have because it's exploratory, right? And this is about focus now. We got lower 3s and 4s up across the board for your Taurus. So many of you will find yourself in a focus progression type of energy. And this will be prevalent in this month. And it's almost like that's why if I feel like we mentioned the grind off the start. Like, how is the grind? Is it too much of a grind? Is there an opportunity to look away and see something that is more valuable to you than what you have been trying to hammer out, hammer in, or hammer through? Okay, and that's fine, Taurus, because you can simply acknowledge things at your own pace this month. You know, things may come across you where it's like you might be feeling a little bit more control, a little bit more command, like, why are you bothering me with this now? Don't you? I will attend to this when I have time. When I feel like you know, I can focus more attention onto it. It's almost like this, you know, single-natured focus. It's not a good time for like multitasking or divided or trying to accomplish too much at once as well, Taurus. Okay, so if this is in regards to a relationship, there's a bit of a halt or like a slower moving energy. And slow is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. You would rather have things progress slowly so you can be in more awareness of them than things happening too quickly. But just make sure that the focus that is there is not too much of a grind. You will be evaluating passions and evaluating purpose. So that is the next logical step to it is the focus too much of a grind, or is your time and your emotions aligned with what you are actively doing, your yoga doing in front of you? Okay, Taurus is kind of serious energy, but it's okay. Like, these are the lower pips of progression, especially in the workplace and matters of spirit for you, Taurus, because lower the 2, 3, and 4 of Wands now out on the board. Now, we got a small straight going on here, and for anybody that knows what's going on in tarot, you look at it as a point where you could be feeling that the energy is a little bit unsettled and jumpy, that there might be some confusion here, but because the progression is needing to be made from a more authentic place of that purpose, right? And I don't really even know what that means, but it's like you can have everything lined up in a row. You can have it so that you have the best made plans that you ever had, and you are actively working towards it, and then boom, something out of left field, this 4 of Cups here, something that demands your attention, commands your attention away from the grind, enlightens you, and enlightens a fire within you to go out, to be inquisitive, and to go explore. And all this time, realizing the progression of the harmony between you and that which you desire and that which you are trying to attain, or your query or your question, the other, right? Where your focus is. All right. And that's just fine to see these low pips up like this, because it's saying you have time to make evaluations before you have to get into commitments or final decisions, final contracts, things of that nature. So it is very important that you understand where your attention, your focus, and your intuition and that inquisition, that's the word that kept coming up, towards your focus is, right? Because the more you wonder about it, the more you will attract it towards you. So let's make sure we're avoiding like lack mentality, victim mentality, any poor me mentality. If there are people around you doing that to you, just tell them to beat it for a while. It's time, Taurus, for self-care, to focus on self. And I feel like a lot of the yoga doing will be on that, because the wands can indicate like the out in the working world, but they also are the suit of the spirit. They're the suit of the passion, the fire behind the consciousness of the why, even the things we do the way we do them. All right, so it's a big energy. And boom, another lower pip card. This one's coming in the form of thought forms. And it's interesting that card just came up because we just touched on it. We don't want to we got threes, card of manifestation again. We don't want to bring about our bad thoughts. We have to be careful what we wish for. We don't want to attract the bad things to us. We want to make sure that as we're evaluating purpose, we're avoiding this, the worst side of the law of attraction, right? Or manifesting the things in your life that you don't want. Don't think it to be true. Rely on the higher frequencies and the higher vibrations of love, understanding, forgiveness, mutualism, a reflection, and those things, to avoid thought forms that have the potential to bring you down, as you might find yourself struggling and being somewhat very serious about this progression towards that which is in your focus. All right, Taurus. Wow, we got like 2, 4, 4, 3, 2. Like it's time for some personal growth. It's time to get ready to set some new intentions and to focus your attention on them. And then that way I feel you would be aligned for the energy of the upcoming weeks in the month of April. All right, thanks so much for being here. We'll see you next month.